Welcome to this episode of our Python tutorial series. In this episode, we'll be exploring output formatting and FSTring in Python, which are two important concepts in Python that allow us to control how our program displays information. Let's start with an example. I have a variable named pi I is constant 1415, and I want to print the value of pi in a string. So I use print and then quotation, the pi number space, the pi number is, and then plus pi. But if I use this format, we can see that we will have a type error, because the pi number is a string and the pi is a floating point data type, and it is impossible to concatenate a string with a floating point. Now you can see the output is a type error and can only concatenate a string and not float to string. So we have to convert pi to string with str command, and then we have the output. But this will output the message. The pi number is 3.1415, but however, this can quickly become cumbersome and difficult to read, especially when with dealing with more complex messages. This is where output formatting comes in, and we could instead of using concatenation of a string together, we can use placeholder values in our string, which will be replaced by the actual value at runtime. Let me show you how we could do that. For example, in print, we could use the pi number is a placeholder here, which is open and close curly braces, and then dot format and the value of pi, and you can see the same output here. But this is certainly an improvement over a string concatenation. It can still be a bit cumbersome to write, especially if we have a lot of variables to include in our message, and this is where fstrings come in. fstrings are a relatively new feature in Python 3.6 and later version, and provide a much more concise and readable way of formatting a string. Instead of using placeholder and dot format method, we can simply include our variable directly in the string itself using the syntax like the following example. For example, print, I use f to mention that this is f string. The pi number is, I put the value of pi here inside curly braces and then close quotation, and you can see that the output is the same. But we have more control over this f string, because, for example, I can mention that how many precision I need for the output, and for example, I can use that pi. The output is pi, but with the 0.3 floating point precision, which means that the output in this format, the output is up to 3 decimal point, and you can see that the output is the pi number is 3.142, and if I change it to 2, it is 2 decimal, 1 is 1 decimal, and this is a better way for represent, and we have more control over the or variables. So we can have, for example, I have a number x, integer 5, and I can say that print f string. I can use f string and say the binary value of x, but x here is an integer type, and so I use d to make sure that this is decimal representation of x. Print decimal representation of x here in this place order is x, but not in decimal representation, but in binary representation. And this is a very interesting way to convert the value of integer to binary, and you can see that the binary value of 5 is 101. And so 101 is binary representation for 5, and you can easily check that this is correct. And I can use this even in a for loop. So for example, for I in range, for example 10, print using f string the binary value of I, which is decimal, equal I in a binary format, and we could have the output, and you can see that the binary value of 0 is 0, 1 is 1, 2 is 1 0, 3 is 1 1, and so on. And this is a way we f formatting f string works. And in summary, output formatting and f string are two powerful tools that allow us to control how our program display information. And by using placeholder or f string, we can make our code more concise, readable, and maintainable, especially when dealing with complex message and multiple variables. Thanks for watching.